Good afternoon, everybody. 4:30 on Monday, the 3rd of October. And today was chest, shoulders, and triceps. Taylor, please be quiet. Thank you. Not too bad of a sweat, I guess. I feel now that I need heavier weights for sure. And it puts me in a funny kind of place because I was going to get a set of adjustables, not the fancy like Bowflex ones, but the ones where you add plates to them. There's a local sporting goods shop that has some. I just need to go look. I don't know if it's one or if it's a pair. I was at a store that had dumbbells, and I went in there and I played with them. 35s on bicep curls is my 8 to 10 range, but I'm hard pressed to buy those because they'd really be all that I use them for. 35s would be too heavy for some of the other stuff, and whatever. I'm trying to get to the point. Is that I need heavy weights. I do have the resistance bands that I'm gonna focus with, I think, since I'm in phase 3. For those of you who don't know how phase 3 breaks down, you do 1 week of phase 1 and 1 week of phase 2, and you alternate, and then you end in recovery, which is the perfect opportunity for me to really find out where my needs are, because I'll be doing all those exercises, and I feel pretty good. My leg's feeling a bit better. I struggle with hopping stuff. It really made this week challenging, and this past week. It's not that I can't, what it feels like is that the muscle fatigues, and I guess it has to do with, some of that connective tissue from the tibia pulling, and essentially I guess I'm removing what's adhering to the bone again, I guess. I mean, I've been taking it easy, but you got to understand how frustrating that is for me at this point in the game. So that's that. Let's talk about my modifications for this disc. My modification this week was I went a little light. I went in for some of the higher reps, lower weights. When I could have grabbed my 25s, I grabbed my 15s, and I went for higher reps. I've kind of been playing with the idea of a little lighter weight and a lot slower movement on the straight arm in and out something. Flies, straight arm flies. Using my 15s and going really slow and really holding it out and really stressing the muscle, borderline flexing at the top of the move. And I've really enjoyed the way that it makes my muscles feel. That also goes into with some of the band moves, since I have the bands and I've been playing with them more and more. If you watch the band people, and he even talks about it, he talks about an isometric hold. I don't feel like the isometric hold that they do in the videos are really long enough. I'm not saying hold for 10 seconds, but like they kind of go up and they pause and then they go down. But I think you go up and you pause and you pause and you pause and then go down, like almost a 3 count. I feel like when I do that, that's where the money's at, because it's a rubber band, and if you're just doing the motion, like, you kind of get play with it. And if you take a rubber band in your fingers and you stretch it out and you do it real slow, it remains tension. But if you go like this, it goes easier because they're slack and it's, it's stretching like a rubber thing should do. So it makes a lot of sense to go slow. So that's my tip for all you band users or anyone that's thinking about using bands. On a lot of the moves, I still prefer the bands. I think weights are it, but if you don't have weights, and that's kind of the selling point of this program, I have a small house with zero storage. I keep my dumbbells on the bottom shelf of my family's shoe rack, and I keep my rubber bands looped around my chin-up bar to be out of the way. Like, I just don't have space. I'd love to have all that stuff, but I don't have room. So I'll be investing even more time into the bands. Phase 3, week 2, round 2, and I was noticing the other day how much I look like the starting candidates of the P90X people you see. I remember watching it after finishing my first round, and like this would be sad to admit, but I always watch it. If I see the P90X infomercial, I watch it. Still, I've owned the program I bought it in 08, and I still watch it if it comes on, because that shit inspires me. But anyway, you look at some of the before pictures, not all of them, but some of them, and you're like, at least for me, I was like, well, that dude's kind of in shape a little. Like, you could tell that there's a fit dude under, like, a non-fit dude physique. Like, the arms are kind of big, but, the little bit of belly's there, little bit of boobies is there. And I feel like that's where I'm at. So when you hear people talk about, doing 2 or 3 rounds and turning that into your 90-day story to win, was it $10,000? Pretty safe to say you can believe that that's a fact. That a good portion of those people have done more than 90 days. I mean, true is true. Go back and look at my body shots I did not that long ago. You can tell, like, I'm not quite there. But my arms and my shoulders and, the stuff that's working's cut. It's just that diet's gotta stick in there for another 90 days, and then, I have my $1 million body story. Again, not all of them, just some of them. Modifier shit. On the wide fly push-ups, where he asks you to use a plate, a towel, where you're gonna slide out. I don't like to do that. I have carpet. I've used the plate technique. I use paper plate that's got a waxy front or top because it slides real good. I just don't like it. I don't really feel like I'm getting anything out of it, and I'll either do the step out, which is fair. I don't know if it isolates as much as using something, but what I've been doing lately is using a bowling ball. And what I do is I hold the bowling ball in my one hand as the other one is on the floor, and I do my push out, and I kind of roll with it, and then I come up, slide it over, and catch it on the other side. And what that does is it kind of staggers your chest, but it really forces your chest to open up. You could do that with anything, a basketball, a soccer ball. You could probably do it with a football, but I don't know if it would roll straight. I like using things like that in my workouts. I use football for my yoga block and love it because it's adjustable. So the ball thing, and I like that a lot. I used the bowling ball because it was right there, but there's benefits of shoving around a 16-pound ball, I guess. Trying to think of any other modifications I do. None really. Today's modification, like I said, was just a little bit of lighter weight. I went for higher reps. Not any real reason for it. I felt like doing something a little bit different. And instead of, missing out on something, I just did that and kind of felt real good. Super super energized after the workout. It wasn't all just kind of sometimes I just get like this where I'm like in some kind of workout vertigo or stumble to the kitchen and get my protein and just it takes 20 minutes to get my head back. So that's it. And I feel it coming to an end, coming to a point. I realize that there's 90 days left. I haven't weighed myself today. Didn't weigh myself yesterday either. But change is still happening. I'm amazed at how still after as many days that if you're working hard and you're eating right, I mean that's what it is. I would have never gone to a gym. I think about it now. I, I I've thought about the end of the year and next year, like through the winter, maybe going to a gym. There's a small gym close by. I happen to know the owner operators. They're brothers. I know them fairly well. If I ever talk about my personal trainer friend, that would be him. And really kind of just seeing what kind of change I can make there. I have different goals, and I've talked about that, and I think I'll talk about it when I wrap this up. Like I said before, this will probably be my last time making these kind of videos. I'm still going to make videos on occasion, just hey, what's up kind of stuff. Or if something's cool and awesome. And then I'll come back later. I guess that's it. Kid Wiggle to 513. Monday, baby!